going.
Oh,
Just
come on.
introduce yourself, think of the date, and off you work.
Today is June 16th, 1984. I'm sitting here with Mrs. Ida Goldstick. I'm Julie Goldstick, her granddaughter, and we're going to talk about our family's heritage. Grandma, when were you born?
When was I born?
You were born
It was a long time ago that I was born.
1905, right?
That's right. It was May 28th,
1905.
1905 in Harlem.
Now, you're one of 10 children. You were born in Harlem?
I was born in Harlem. And at that time, the Jewish people had it. Not the black for sale and everything in Harlem today.
That's right. You had it loud enough so we can be recorded?
Yes.
Okay, and where did you live in
No,
Harlem?
here, right here.
103rd Street and Fifth Avenue. And today the Jewish Museum is right there. They knew that the Jewish people would remain in that area.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so then you were one of 10 children. Why don't you name your brothers and sisters?
6 boys and 4 girls.
You could talk to the TV too.
Yeah. No, but you want us to seem like a movie. You don't
Oh, all right. All right. So then, okay. Now, what were your parents' names?
My father was Harry Tannenbaum.
Right.
And my mother was Minnie Rabinowitz Tannenbaum.
That's right. And then what were your grandparents' names? Harry's parents?
Harry's parents were Tannenbaum.
Yeah, but do you remember them? Wasn't it Oscar and...
You mean the children?
The parents. No.
Oh, the parents were
Harry's...
Oscar and Ida.
Ida, right. Because Oscar, your older brother, was named after him, and you were named after your grandmother.
That's right.
And Minnie's parents, what were their names? Rabinowitz.
Rabinowitz. I don't remember their first. Oh, Ethel was my grandmother.
Ethel Rabinowitz.
Ethel was the grandmother.
And Leah, wasn't it?
Okay, enough family. Get to the good
Right,
stories.
Leo.
Right, Leo.
Get to the dirty stories.
All right. Anyway, you want to tell me anything about the schools you went to? You went to school in Brooklyn? Or where'd you go to school?
No, by the time I was growing up, we left Manhattan.
Well, first, where'd you go to grammar school?
In grammar school, up right where we lived, the 167th Street in New York City, in the Bronx, I mean.
Right.
And I went to public school 20 right there. And from 20, we moved to Mount Vernon, New York from there.
Right.
And I went to school, a public school in New York, in Mount Vernon, until the 7th grade. And the 7th grade, we moved back to the fashionable Harlem, which at that time was the upper section to be living in. Right. 111th Street and 7th Avenue.
Right. What was your dad doing for a living then?
At that time, my father started in the soap business. And then he was a salesman for Dunlop.
And was he very successful?
And he's very successful. The first year or two, he learned the business. And after learning and going back to some of the silk mills and to a certain school on fabrics, he really learned the business very well, and he opened up a place of his own.
Okay.
By that time, I was ready to go out and get a job. So I went to work for a lace manufacturer, and I learned the pros and cons of manufacturing and stepping back.
Okay, and how old were you then?
At that time, I was about 19. I was going to college at 9. And
Where were you going to college?
Julia Richmond. And then I went to Hunter for 1 year. And my father, what did he do when did he sell the business? No, my dad got out of working for Dunlop and opened up his own business. Harry Tannenbaum and Son. And my brother Oscar was the son in the business. But he got married and he moved to Boston. And I worked for my dad alone. And then I met a cute young man in Detroit.
Well, why don't you tell us about that? What were you doing in Detroit at the time?
I went to visit my cousin, Mrs. Schuber.
Right.
I knew that I could get all my expenses paid because the firm that I had been working for around that time was a customer of J.L. Hudson Company in Detroit was a customer.
Right.
So I went in to get a contract signed there. In the meantime, I got a contract for myself.
Right.
And I met Maury, and in 12 or 13 days, we got married.
Now, tell us about your first date. Weren't you first set up with his brother Healy? Wasn't that the way it was?
No, not exactly that. He was married about 7 or 8 years at that time. He took me out to the golf club, my cousin that I was visiting.
Right.
Maury was practicing dentistry. He couldn't take a day off. And I was putting around the putting green. And Dr. Goldstick, and he has a cute young brother that Julia, her brother, is very friendly with. Would you like to meet him? Went out to Lou's. So I spoke to Healy, and later on I said, if he's as nice as Healy, I'd like to meet him. And the next day, Ethel arranged a date, and Maury came over, and we went out, and he was much nicer than Healy. He was so cute that when he went home that night, I said, you mean you're not going to kiss me goodnight?
That's right.
And he did. We were each other day and night for the next 12 days.
And how did he propose to you?
I don't really remember. It just worked out somehow. I really don't remember. And we went to Toledo. We were married on a Friday afternoon by the man who became governor of the state of Ohio, Governor Bricker. And he married us. And across the street, as we came out of the place, I said to Maury, I'm not going to the hotel with you. I wouldn't live with you until I get a Jewish certificate of our marriage. My father would never forgive me. I wouldn't forgive me for marrying you anyway. We found a rabbi, and we went in there. This was the rabbi who later on was, I forget, from one of the foreign countries, a very well-known rabbi anyway. And he said to Maury, you know, I can't marry you, it's Shavuos. And he said, I know it's Shavuos, and I know that it's Friday night. He said, then the rabbi intervened, oh, you want to live with it, don't you? So Maury said, what do you think I brought you here for? And he married us. It was beautiful. And we went to the Hotel Huron in Ypsilanti.
Right.
And that was the beginning of our romance.
Oh, boy.
Don't ask me any more questions. Now, how about you?
Well, no, I want to hear a little bit more.
School?
Oh, we know about me. No, we want to just get a little bit more about you on tape. So what about telling us?
A little bit more. What else
Why
can I
not?
tell? I found the man who I really fell in love with.
Right, and you've been married 56 years.
56 years, and we had three beautiful children. We had an unfortunate thing happen to us 6 years ago, exactly today.
No, not today. It's 20.
Did she die on the 20th of the Jewish thing? Because we went to last time we worked that time. Ellen died. She had cancer and I told her friend. And David and Janet remained, please God. And they made up for our loss in many ways. That's all I can say.
Okay, and that's it for today.
Now, supposing I interview you.
What do you want to talk about? Oh, where was I born? All right, we'll do me
Are
very
they
quickly.
turning that off?
Yeah, I wish they would.
Oh.
We should turn it off. We'll come back.
Okay.
Okay,
Does it turn off automatically? I told the truth.
We'll be right back with Dr.
I told the
Goldstick.
truth. You better tell me.
We'll be right back with Dr.
Where are you
Goldstick.
going? Oh.
Sit down.
Wait, I gotta
you were
Give me
gonna-
1 second,
I am-
Julie.
well, there's
Julie,
a
give me
camera.
1 second.
It's all right. Leave it. You can
No,
play with it.
no, you
It
can't.
doesn't interfere.
You can't put the letters on it until you gotta put it on hold before you put the letters on
What
it.
are you
I wanna
putting
put it on
letters on?
hold.
You're
Just
doing
let it go.
letters.
Just give me a
They
minute.
don't have the time.
Yeah, we
Come
do.
on, Jimmy,
How do you put it on
come
the
on.
walls?
You
Jimmy,
ready?
you can do a dumbhead some other time.
Come on, you could do, don't put dumb head down. I believe this kind of serious stuff.
Wait a minute,
Stop
wait
it.
a minute.
Started.
Have the
It's
dog.
already
There's
started.
the
It's
dog.
going.
Put the dog in the picture.
No, come on. Are you
we put
ready?
the dog on
Put
the...
the dog.
Are you rolling?
We're rolling.
We're here with Dr. Maurice Goldstick,
Vomit.
Ida Goldstick's husband. Be quiet. And we're going to talk about your family history. When were you born, Dr. Goldstick?
February 4th, 1899.
Come on, don't be a wise ass. Come on, this is very important stuff.
Okay, come on.
Well, I said, I told you, ask me, I told you. February 4th, 1899.
Well, you're not that old. How old are you then? That makes you 85.
I'm 85
How do
years
you
old.
feel?
Fine.
Good. Okay.
But if you weren't my granddaughter, I would show you.
Okay, anyway, tell us about your parents. What were your parents' names? Well,
You see, that serves you right. Serves you right, see? Making fun of your father, you were punished.
You're on tape. Come on.
You were punished.
All right, come on. Ignore Daddy. Let's go back to about your family history. What were your parents' names?
Zussel Goldstick.
Right.
And my mother's name was,
Minnie.
wait a minute. Macha ben Yehuda, wait a minute. Macha ben,
It was Minnie Cohen.
Minnie Cohen.
Right.
Minnie Cohen.
Right. You remember your grandparents' names? Yeah. Zuzel's parents was
Zuzel's parents
Yehuda
was
Leib.
Yehuda Leib,
Right.
and
Wasn't it Rivka, his wife? Wasn't it Rivka?
I can't remember, but I don't
Because wasn't
remember.
was
And
Rosalie,
then my
Rosalie was named? Oh no, it was the other side. That was Minnie's
my-
side.
and
Rizel was Philip
Right.
was Minnie's father. Philip was Minnie's father. Philip Cohen. He was from Canada.
Oh.
Philip, right?
yeah, but wait a minute. Minnie's Jewish name was Malka.
Well, that doesn't matter. Why don't you tell us about your brothers and sisters? And tell us your brothers' names first.
My oldest brother's name, my oldest brother, Nathaniel Hawthorne Goldstick.
Right. What do you mean Hawthorne? They call him Nathaniel Hawthorne?
That's right.
After the writer?
Nathaniel Hawthorne Goldstick, and Hilliard William Goldstick,
Right.
and Leo Goldstick, and Rosalie Goldstick.
Right. Now, where were you born?
I was born in London, Ontario, Canada.
And where'd you go to school?
I went to school. The grade school was Everett School in Detroit, Michigan,
Right, so when did you move to
and
Michigan?
Central High School in Detroit, Michigan.
When did you move to Michigan? How old were you?
And I went to University of Michigan. Wait, no. Then first I went to Detroit City College,
Right.
Detroit Junior College. It was then known as Detroit Junior College. I believe the first junior college in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And then I transferred to University of Michigan Dental School, from which I graduated in November 1923. The reason I graduated November 1923 is that I missed 2 months of the dental clinic, and I had to make it up, and I couldn't get my degree until I made up the work in my senior year in prosthetic dentistry.
Now, when did you move to Michigan from Canada? How old were you?
I was 2 years old when we moved to Detroit, Michigan. And we lived in Detroit until 1941. I believe it was March 1941. And then we went to Saranac Lake,
This was
New
made
York.
from last year. This is beauty.
and we were there for 14 months. And then we returned to
I'm just closing the door.
we returned to Michigan in 1943, remained until January 1945, and then we moved lock, stock, and barrel to New York State in 1945. To be exact, we moved to Great Neck, New York.
Now, tell us.
And we've been in Great Neck ever since.
Right, now tell us how you met your wife.
I met my wife through a cousin of Ida Tannenbaum Goldstick, who she came to visit for one purpose and one purpose only, and that was to find a husband. And she found a schlemiel by the name of Dr. Maurice Goldstick.
Yeah.
And he was just a little country boy, and she was a big city slicker.
Oh boy.
And lo and behold, he discovered he was driving to Toledo, Ohio, to elope and got married.
No, wait.
And
Wait.
he was so irreligious that he drove on Shavuos and didn't know it was Shavuos until he was married by the justice of the peace, and then his Jewishness came to the fore, and he asked the justice if there was a rabbi close by, and the justice said yes, there was a rabbi right across the street by the name of Rabbi Kornfeld, who had been former ambassador to Persia, which is now Iran. And when we knocked on his door, lo and behold, the rabbi answered the door himself, opened the door, and greeted us very warmly, and said, "How can I help you?" I said, "Rabbi, we were married by the justice of peace across the street, and we want to have a Jewish ceremony." And the rabbi, to his dismay, said, "How can you expect me to perform a Jewish ceremony? Don't you know that this is Shavuos? Today is Shavuos. How can I perform?" I says, "Rabbi, we were married by the justice of the peace, and I'm driving back, and we're going to go to a hotel." "Oh, you want to live with her?" I says, "Rabbi, what do you think I brought her here for?" So the rabbi broke the rule, and he married us. And then our third wedding took place on July the 4th. Was it July the 3rd or July the 4th?
Where was that?
Anyhow, a hot day, so that her father, her late father, would know that his daughter was married properly, without knowing that his daughter had eloped and gotten married and been living in sin for these 4 months until through some accident Ida Goldstick misspoke herself and said, "Oh, we've been married since July."
Since May.
Since May of 1928.
Right. Now I just have one quick question. How did you propose to her? Just while we're finished now, but how did you
I
propose?
didn't propose.
What happened?
I just didn't propose.
So how'd you end up getting
Ida
married?
Goldstick, Ida Tannenbaum, at that time, Ida Tannenbaum said, "When are we going to get married?" I said, "Well, look, I don't have time for a ceremony or anything. If you want, we will go to Toledo, Ohio. Now we can get married the same day without having to wait." And of course, nobody was going to fool around with Ida Tannenbaum Goldstick, or at that time, better known as Ida Tannenbaum. So she said, "How can we get married now?" So that's when I said, "We will elope to Toledo, Ohio, and get married."
Okay.
And this was 12 days from the day I met her.
Okay.
The slowest guy in Detroit, Michigan, got married faster than any one of his contemporaries.
Then what happened? Tell them about
He told the story. Okay. That's all for now. We'll be back. What did he write? What did he write? What did he write?
Oh,
But
we're
it's not
going to
recording.
do
You
it.
gotta put- recording now.
What did he write? Can you tell me what you wrote?
Is it on?
Please go.
Yeah, it's going. It's going.
Can you tell me what you wrote?
Boring.
Boring.
Okay, it is June 15th, 1984, 16th.
Look in the camera.
We are the Goldstick Westport household. Here we have with us Julianne Goldstick, Lisa Cornell Bean, Patricia Robin Goldstick, discussing their years at the University of Michigan.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want.
Whatever.
Lisa, if you don't look up, Lisa, you're never going to be in the camera.
Daddy, you have to hum the Michigan fight song in the background.
While we're talking, just go.
While we're talking, just
wait.
hum it in the background. Very softly, softly.
Good.
Okay.
Very
Well,
nice.
first of all, Lisa and Patty, first tell us about your freshman year at the University of Michigan. What you thought about it.
You don't have to do that, Julie. The microphone's right here.
But I'm pretending.
You don't have to even pretend. Even what's her name now? They pin the
Oh, that's right.
microphone.
All right. It's invisible.
All right.
Patty, dear, why don't you tell us about your years at the University of Michigan?
My first year at the University of Michigan was amazing. All because of my roommate here, Lisa.
What a kind-hearted soul.
What a kind-hearted soul. She was perfect, so easy to get along with. And you know what she did to me? She taught me two very important things. To floss my teeth. My teeth would be a mess right now. She made me do it every night.
Yeah.
And she also taught me to go to the football games. I have such a love for football now. It's amazing. The weekends without a football game, I cry. And I go every Saturday and I sit with Lisa and we get drunk and we watch the games. And we have such a good time.
And they pick up men.
I was missing out of my life for so long, and now it's such a big part, and I really want to thank you for that, Lisa.
Now, Lisa, tell us about your experience with Patty, your sophomore year, how she changed your life.
Oh, she brought out my maternal instinct. I felt like I was a baby.
She was my mother.
That was her mother.
Yeah.
She was a lost child.
I needed her.
And she
Didn't I also help you become a little meaner? You used to be too nice. I think I helped that.
taught me how to be mean.
And a little more aggressive. And I taught you to be a feminist and insult people and tease, and that it's okay as long as you're teasing. Wasn't that
Wow.
important?
Yeah, that was important. I don't know how good a job she did, though.
And I made you run every day,
Yes, she did. She made me run every day. She's a fanatic. She runs 3 miles at least,
a day.
and 5 miles on Sundays.
Got you to go to synagogue every Saturday?
Converted her.
I did. She did the Friday night prayers with me every Friday night when I lit the candles. Every Friday night, right? I made you stand there. Don't you know it now? Say it. No, not here. You do it in front of you. And you cover your eyes. But you were close. Very
That was-
close. Now tell us about your experience in New York.
Oh, I'll tell you my 3 Hebrew words. No, I knew
What
2.
Hebrew word?
Laila Tov
Lila Tov.
and Boker Tov.
And
See,
Mazeh.
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 And how do you
Shalom.
say, you know one other word? In Yiddish, penis. Didn't I teach you that schmeckle?
No, you didn't teach me
Oh, I
that.
thought I did. Grandpa taught me that. Do you know what Grandpa said to me? I said he went into the bathroom. I said, Grandpa, don't forget to wipe your schmeckle. He goes, don't you know you don't wipe it, you shake it?
Hey, Patty, I didn't know your kids didn't like
I
coconut cream
hate it.
pie. I can't
I hate
believe
coconut.
it. You too? Julie?
No, but
But
it's too
she's gonna try
fattening.
it.
I
You
like
know
it.
the coconut
Lisa,
is the
did you
most
like it?
fattening
I like it.
thing. Do you know the coconut is the most fattening thing?
Now we're going to tape David eating his favorite coconut
No,
cream
don't
pie.
try it. I'll go there.
I hear
Leave it the way it is.
Doesn't he look handsome in his outfits?
Hi, everybody. This is the best coconut cream pie I ever had.
That's the filling. That's not
Filling.
the pie.
It's still good.
You know how high cholesterol coconut is?
He runs. He's okay. He runs.
Do you like having? Oh, now, Mr. Goldstick, tell us how you like having a third daughter in the family over the
First
summer.
place, it's like having one daughter in the family over the summer because Patty hasn't been home more than 32 seconds. And if we didn't have Lisa, we wouldn't have any daughter.
Thank God she brought Lisa, so we have somebody.
But you have the 3 of us this weekend.
I'll let you know tomorrow
After we were.
after you work in the garden whether it was worth having them.
You want to see the onions I weeded? Come check these out.
What
The
onions?
star attraction, the onions.
There they are.
They need to be onions. The onions need to be weeded.
Look at how gorgeous. I weeded them.
That's the reason why did I get burned only in certain spots?
You mean like here?
Yeah.
Or you mean or like spots?
Come on, don't do that.
What is she doing?
Looking at her burns.
There, and I didn't get burned there.
Probably because you were like this.
Okay, that's enough.
But I wasn't. I stretched my legs out when I was talking to
What are you
Daddy.
doing?
Say goodbye, gals.
Goodbye.
Oh, you know, wait a minute. I got a fade on this
Oh,
thing.
yeah, you have to fade.
All right, let me use
All
the
right.
fade. Sit over
This
there.
is,
I like
this is
this
Julie
fade.
Goldstick, Patty
Goodbye.
Goldstick, and Lisa Bean saying
Well,
goodbye.
I can't fade you yet. I gotta find the button to do the
We'll
fade.
do it again in a moment. These are the three Goldstick
Oh,
daughters.
fade. Okay.
Saying, ready? Goodbye. Mom. Goodbye. Goodbye. Kiss, Lisa, kiss. Go kiss. Can we watch it now?
First of all, I'd like to congratulate my cousin. Am I on?
Yes, of course you're on.
I'd like to congratulate my cousin, but I'd like to tell him that, first of all, we almost missed the house because the fruit trees are gone. And secondly, you've taken up part of my garden with a very fancy, expensive
You haven't been here since we
flagstone
did this?
patio.
No,
No,
we
and you
haven't
put
been
in
here since you had
a
the
steel
patio.
round staircase, and I've been here 10 minutes and I haven't had a fresh vegetable yet. I think that's pretty bad.
Give him some fresh broccoli to chew on.
I don't like broccoli
Something.
myself.
Something.
I'm
Look
strictly a
at this.
corn
Look
man.
at this, Pat.
I have to come here in August like you have the corn.
Okay.
Is it on play?
You're on VCR.
Just move it
I'm
back
on
and
VCR,
forth.
but the only trouble is you didn't give me a chance to go and comb my hair and fix up.
Oh, you look gorgeous.
Oh, you look fine.
For the camera.
No, let's face it, Patsy, you're not going to look any better.
You just want to show the
This is
back
it.
of your belt, that's all. The back of your jacket. What is
You
it?
can
So we're
even
going to
take
get
off
to
your
see it
dark
right away on
glasses.
television?
Sure, you can watch it.
But is it,
This is going to be on
voice
national
too?
television.
Is it voice too?
Yes, but you can't hear it.
Huh? Oh,
Yeah,
you
sure.
can't-
And you talk. You
What
gotta
are you
talk.
talking
Of
about?
course.
We get
We've
your
been
whole
here, we've been here 10 minutes.
Is it
We've
still
been here
going?
10 minutes.
Is it
Nothing
still
but
going?
some vegetables.
I didn't see the site on national television.
What?
I made it.
All right, is it off?
You all finished?
Huh?
You better turn it off. You better turn it
All right,
off.
turn it
Yeah,
off.
okay.
Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Emote.
Yeah, say something, will you please?
Buddy, can you spare a dime?
Oh, that's terrific. The two of you, do something.
Am I great?
That's terrific.
If
Say
David is
something.
the greatest,
Sing a
I'm the
song.
greatest
Sing a
too.
song. Sing a song. Sit over there in the sun because it's. I
I
want to get
can't
you.
sing a song.
Get over there. Go ahead. Come on, Hal. Tell me about what it was like having my daughter work for you.
Your daughter was the greatest in the world. The only problem is she has you as a father. The fact of the matter is you have 3 lovely children.
Oh, isn't that nice?
And
Yeah,
that's-
we'll put this man on television
And that's
anytime.
something that you had very little to do with physically, but emotionally they are great people. They really are.
All right, Hal. Thank you for that testimonial.
I've enjoyed your children over the years.
We are now recording the life history of Pauline Dorfman in July. What is today? 19th?
What? October 17th.
No, darling. What is today's date?
Today is the 22nd, I think.
Of July, 1984. And David Goldstick will be the interviewer. And here he comes. It's on automatic now.
Wonderful.
Let me just double check. Absolutely. Oops. Okay. What is your name?
Pauline Miller Dorfman,
And where were you born?
New York City, October 17th, 1902.
Okay, would you talk just a little louder?
All right.
Because the microphone is right there on the camera and it will pick you up, but you gotta talk up just a little bit.
Okay.
You were born when it now?
October 17th, 1902.
And what hospital? Do you remember?
At home, probably.
And do you know where you lived then?
Yes. Park Avenue and, you know, where the goes.
Honey, speak up, that's all right.
Oh,
Park Avenue?
Park Avenue and 90 some odd street.
Okay, I want you to look towards the camera when you talk to me,
Oh,
okay? So that your voice will carry over there. All right, you lived at Park Avenue and 90th Street then in Manhattan?
Not 90th, 97th, 99th.
99th Street in Manhattan. Did you have any brothers and sisters?
2 brothers,
And what are their names?
Julius, and Leon.
When was Julius born?
Julius was born 1904, and Leon was born 1911.
And what are the names
No.
You know?
Oh yes, my grandfather's name was Jacob.
On your father's side or your mother's side?
On my mother's side.
And
I did not know any of my grandfather's parents.
any of your father's
I
parents?
mean my father's parents.
They were dead when you were born?
Yeah.
All right. And where did you go to grade school?
In New York City,
Do you remember the name of the school?
91.
PS 91?
Uh-huh.
And where was that school located?
I can't recall. I can't recall the street.
Okay.
My memory isn't good.
Were you a good student in grade school?
Mediocre.
What was your favorite course? What did you like best in grade school?
What I liked best in grade school.
Yes, now you gotta talk up, darling. What did you like best in grade school?
Well, I liked arithmetic. You mean, is that what you want to know?
Yes, of course.
Arithmetic, spelling, history. Well, most of the subjects.
And where did you go to high school?
Amanda Child in the Bronx.
And how did you do in high school? Were you a good student or just a mediocre student?
Just mediocre.
And what was your favorite courses in high school?
Oh, and I enjoyed every one of them.
Did you have any boyfriends in high school?
Of course.
Do you remember the boy's name?
After all, I'm 82 years old now. I can't remember names.
Huh?
82 years. I'm 82 years now.
How old were you when you had your first love?
Maybe 16, 17.
And you remember the boy's name?
No.
No, you don't remember his name at all. Did you go to college?
No.
What did you do after you graduated high school?
Got a lovely job.
What were you doing?
Secretarial work.
Do you remember the name of the firm that you worked for?
No, not at all.
Do you remember where it was?
It was around 21st and 21st near Fifth Avenue.
And how long did you work there?
About 2 years.
And then what did you do after that?
Then I was in a buyer's office.
Doing what?
Well, the business was a buying for 42 stores.
And what did you do there?
Well, first, learning it, and then finally, eventually, I became a buyer.
Okay. Then, how old were you at this time?
Well, I worked until I got married, and I was married. I was 25 years old.
How did you meet your husband?
On a tennis court.
Where was that?
Nappaneck Country Club.
Where is Nappaneck Country Club?
I don't remember just the place where it was.
Do you remember what you said to each other? What did you think of him when you met him?
He gave me a love game immediately. He was a champion tennis player.
All right. And what did you think of him when you first met him?
Well, very, very nice. A perfect gentleman.
And how long did you go with? When did you have your first date after you met him?
Well, after I was there on vacation, and not long after that, he called me.
And how long did you go out
I
together?
happened to know several of his friends.
Okay. How long did you go out together?
Well, we were engaged the Christmas of that year, and we were married the June of the following year.
Oh, what month was your first date with him?
Oh, I don't remember what
Was it in the spring or the summer?
It was in the fall.
And, oh, so you got engaged within 3 or 4 months?
No, we were going to, no, not 3 or 4 months.
You said you got married engaged
Well, I
that
met
Christmas.
him in May.
Right.
So probably June, July, we...
And you got married that Christmas?
No, we were engaged that Christmas.
And then when did you get married?
The following June.
Okay. When did he kiss you for the first time?
Can't remember how long.
After you got married?
What? Are you right? You think I'm made of ice? Or do you think he's made of ice? After all, he was 10 years my senior.
All right, all right, all right. Now, after you got married, where did you move to?
We moved to, he happened to be a Brooklyn fellow, and we moved to Brooklyn. And a year after we were married, Robert was born.
And then, when did you move to Gloversville?
I think we were married about 3 years when we moved to Gloversville.
How did you happen to move to Gloversville? How did that
Well,
happen?
He had old friends from childhood living in Brooklyn at the time. And they all settled up there. There was a big family, the Kennedy family, Jewish.
Uh-huh.
Jewish Kennedys.
Go ahead, honey. Keep on talking.
And, I thought,
No, keep on talking.
okay.
I just want to make sure it's working properly.
He had clients up there, and every time he went up there, he loved that place more than ever. And after we had been living in Brooklyn for 2 years, when Robert was about 2 years old, George felt that he would like to settle in a small city.
All right, talk towards me, Don. Turn towards me. Turn yourself around so we can get your other. We want to get your other profile.
Oh, of course. Be sure and get the right one.
You look terrific. Keep on going.
He wondered if I would be happy enough going up there. Well, we took a trip up there, and it was my first trip, and it was in Gloversville. And the funny part of it is that while we were engaged, he said to me he has to go upstate on business, up to Gloversville on business. He had clients up there, and I said, Gloversville? Where the heck is Gloversville? He says, well, it's 200 miles from New York, and all these nice people live up there. I said, well, let's go up there and see what it's like. So we went up to Gloversville to see what it was like, and I liked what I saw, and all the friends of the Kennedys there, the most wonderful people, and we decided to move to Gloversville. Of course, the break from my parents, George's parents were gone when we got married, and listen, he knew it was for my happiness, and we went up to Gloversville. And that's how we got started, and the Kennedys were wonderful. By the time we got up there, they had found a beautiful apartment for us, and even got a maid at $5 a week. And we got settled, and the next day, everybody in the group were taking bridge lessons, and they had made an appointment for me to take the bridge lessons, and that's how it was. And then when Dee Dee was born in the same apartment, yes. After we were there 2 years, Dee Dee was born.
When did you move from the apartment?
That's just it. Right after Dee Dee was born, we bought a house. You see, the neighborhood there was so gorgeous. It was a park opposite the street we were living on, and this house happened to become available right on the curve when it goes on. It was a like you have a circular driveway all around the park, and we were on South Park Drive, and on the other side of the park was North Park Drive, most beautiful area in the city, and that was it.
What did you think of Gloversville?
Oh, I loved it. Loved it. We had wonderful, wonderful friends. We did the craziest things imaginable. Remember, Halloween was always a big, big holiday, and they did the most outlandish things imaginable. One friend of ours had a big porch.
All right, Donna, just 1 minute. I'm going to put you on hold just 1 second. All right, we're now recording Mark Greenberg and Bobby Klein. Go ahead, guys. Just continue. Continue talking about Jimmy getting Jimmy into the club.
This is a credit reference on David Goldstein that we're both doing. Yes, I was telling Mark how a very close friend of mine, Martin Lowengaard, had the pleasure of interviewing Jimmy about joining his club. You want to know about his illustrious family, and also about his business career, which I immediately called Jimmy and asked him to send me some checks so I wouldn't be a liar. Anyway, I'm sure he'll love it. He'll do very, very nicely.
When's he gonna join? When's his initiation?
I don't know, but he'll need a little distribution for that.
I think so. That was my next question. Does he have the money?
Well, I think as a junior member, it's very reasonable. You know, he's young enough that it's really not going to. Now tell me, Mark, how long have you known this
Him?
eccentric relative of mine?
9 years.
9 years. And obviously he bought a building and you were involved in it.
Yep.
And it was love at first sight.
That one? 58 Grace? I don't know. Would you call it love at first sight, Dave? 58 Grace.
No, as a matter of fact, don't you remember I screamed at you because you didn't give me back 50 or 100 bucks because that deal fell through?
What 50 or 100 bucks?
Oh, I laid out some dough for you once.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you don't remember nothing.
No, what you talking about? Don't have.
You don't have
what
any.
You talking about?
Did you ever get it, David?
He doesn't even remember.
If he'll tell me what he's talking about, I'll tell you.
He's looking at the flowers now.
I'm getting all my flowers.
Now what is that flower straight ahead that Susie liked? The big guy on the neighbor's property? Isn't it? David has eminent domain rights here. He takes what the neighbors.
He takes land from that neighbor to this neighbor. The only quid pro quo is that they get a year of lattice approval.
David, talk. The camera can't just see flowers.
Now, and a director.
See, does this for 30 movies with Dee Dee.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm going right in. I'm not going to do one of these Vanessa Williams things.
I don't want any Vanessa
not me.
Williams.
First of all, I'm not Miss America, and second of all,
Boy, that was
I don't want to
terrible.
share my body with anyone.
That was terrible.
All right, just sit down and talk to your husband, and let's hear
Nice.
Let's hear the two of you say something good.
You don't have to say anything. It's
Actions
the actions,
speak
right?
louder than words after 20 years.
All right, that's good. Come on, say something, you stupid heads.
Susie, you're nervous.
I don't have much to say. That's the problem.
Tell us about your book. Will
Well, yeah,
David
tell
get
us
an-
about your book.
Will David
Susie,
get an
tell us about
autographed
your book.
copy? Can I bring
If he
Noodle over here?
buys the book, he
No.
will get an autograph.
Susie, I want to hear about the book.
She may eat her up. She may eat him up.
What would you like to know, David?
I want to
us
know
what it's
what the
about.
book is on and what are you doing?
Okay.
Who the publisher is,
Okay,
how
the
many
book
pages.
It's on American
How
folk
much?
art, a heart motif in American folk art. It's being published by Alfred Knopf.
Oh, I know that.
It'll be out November 1st in the bookstores. It's going to sell for $25,
Quick and
and
cheap.
it's a great book.
25 bucks.
Yep.
Hardcover.
Why don't you do a little
Hardcover.
Christmas gift for your supers?
I
100 bucks.
In fact, David, I'm going to give you
Yeah.
a brochure on the book,
give
so
them
maybe you should give that
Send them
out as a
book
Christmas
on-
gift to some of your clients.
something they really would enjoy.
What a great
Yeah.
idea.
Already, Mary Wells bought 100 copies for Christmas. She saw the catalog that Knopf put out on the book.
We'll do
that is
that.
up
Sure,
for you.
why
Isn't that a
not?
great idea?
Good idea. We'll do
A
that.
super idea.
And
Order a box for us.
And
the
we-
Metropolitan Museum of Art bought 1,000 copies to put in their bookstore, and we're in their Christmas catalog.
All right.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We'll buy a case.
David, I married a wealthy, successful woman here with all these residuals coming in.
I told him from now on I want a Ms. in front of my name.
There's no talking to her.
It's Miss Susan Klein. It's not Mrs. Robert.
I know how Geraldine's husband feels sitting in the background when he goes shopping.
All right, all I want to hear out of the two of you now is how you met. Just give me a little background on how you
Little
met.
background, it's a long story. I don't know if you have enough tape there.
No, I don't have enough tape.
You don't have enough tape.
Who do you want to go first? Who should speak first? Huh?
Author.
I met Susie. I had a very dear friend by the name of Daniel Ferraro. Daniel Ferraro.
Daniel Ferraro.
Danny Ferrara, who lives up in Litchfield, Connecticut.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That means he's related to Geraldine.
No, not really.
We don't
Anyway,
spell it-
Danny was going out with one of Susie's closest friends, a girl by the name of Patty Adlaw. Patty's parents were not crazy about Danny, so they sent her away to a prep school in Philadelphia. But Susie maintained this close relationship, and Danny would still see Patty whenever she would come home. And he had called me and said he'd like to double, because Patty has a very, very dear friend who lives across the street. Her name is Susan Tannenbaum. Would I be good enough to give him my word of honor that we double in 4 weeks? Well, 4 weeks seemed like a long time.
Let me just interject one thing. I hope you got that. Would he be good enough to give his word of honor? Like he might back out on it and not go out with
That's right. That's a misconception. Anyway, to me, I was going out with two lovely young ladies, one by the name of Marjorie, who lived in Queens, and the other one by the name of Iris, who also was from
My current guy.
Harrison. Well, anyway, Iris's sister had given birth to a little baby, and she was planning on coming in, and I spoke to her at Ohio State, and I made a date for her to come in this entire weekend. And I was going to pick her up at the airport, and we were going out Friday and Saturday night. Margie, I told I was busy.
Just keep on calling. I got to put the meat on. You keep on talking.
All right, and sure enough, just
You got the
keep
right
me busy.
person, David.
Well, make a long story shorter.
You're telling me a story, sir.
Right.
I'll listen.
Danny calls me up and says, this is the weekend we're going out. And I said, Danny, this can't be the weekend we're going out because I have a date with Iris. And it's almost, she's coming in from Ohio State. It can't be done. I said, Bobby, you gave me your word of honor. I said, okay. I said, look, let me call up this lady.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
Intimación.
Oh, Betty Lou! Oh, Betty Lou, get over there. I want to put you on television. Wait a minute, Betty Lou, walk around.
You take my seat.
Just get over there.
Take my seat.
Come for dinner.
Betty Lou,
I'm
walk
telling the story of how I met my wife. Nobody wants to hear.
Come on, sing. Come on, we'll be too happy out.
Let's see Betty Lou.
Go in there.
Up and over, Betty Lou. Up and over.
You know, I
Oh, there she is, ladies and gentlemen.
1, 2,
Miss America. That is Betty Lou Cummings, the most gorgeous woman of all time.
Are you replacing Vanessa?
Are we ready?
All right, Betty Lou, just give us a song. Give us a cheer. Give us...
On the banks of the Red Sea.
There we go.
You know, it's Michigan State. You know, he went to
That's
You
right.
got it. You got it.
And this.
Oh, my God, look at that gorgeous woman. I can't believe it. Why don't you stand on there and do it?
Up here. Do we want to get up here?
God, look at it. I can't believe I'm going to have her on
You're a
tape.
new toy.
Venus,
This is
the
your
Milo.
toy. You're on television.
Susie, was your son mowing the lawn this morning?
Anyway, with the story.
I have to
No,
tell
no,
my
no, no.
story about Danny Farrell.
No.
Hey,
Hi. Boy, do you look smashing, huh?
Let him finish the story.
Okay.
It's a cute story, too.
hey.
Finish
Oh,
the
I
story.
gotta finish my story, even though Betty Lou is more exciting. than
Go
my
ahead,
story.
finish the story.
Anyway, Danny calls me up and says, this is the weekend we're doubling, and I said, impossible. He says, you swore to me, now call her up because we're going out Saturday night. So I call this, take the phone
So I
number,
haven't said a word.
call her up,
Bobby's telling the whole thing. It's so cute.
and I said, Susan, my name's Bob Klein, and
Well,
I understand Patty's coming home.
hear it on the tape.
Would you like to go out Saturday night? And she said, I'd love to. So I tell Danny, I may have to break this date. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm in a pickle. So he says, Bobby, don't worry about it.
That's a half a
Half a
beef.
cow.
Half a cow.
He said, you're covered. Make a long story short, I go out to Iris and pick her up at LaGuardia. She
Iris
comes-
is a chick from Ohio.
Ohio
right?
State. Pick
Dumped
her up,
somewhere
drive her up to her parents' home, and we was...
in Queens.
No, that was Margie. Margie was Iris lived in Harrison. And she changes, and I'm BSing with her parents, and we were going up to Stanford to see a movie that night. Anyway, gets into the car, driving up. She says, something very strange when I arrived home. I said, what happened? She says, well, I got a phone call from my cousin. My cousin says, you never guess who I'm going out with tomorrow night. So I said, Iris, who's your cousin going out with tomorrow night? She says, my cousin said she's going out with Bobby Klein. I said, I don't believe it. Who's your cousin? She said, Susie Tenenbaum.
I don't
my
believe
cousin.
it.
I said, well, let me tell you something. I said, I was forced to do it. I have
I
no
don't
intentions of
believe it.
taking that girl out, and this is disgraceful, and I don't blame you if you're pissed off.
I don't believe it.
Well,
This is
I
terrible.
couldn't get out of it. And
Out of
Susie-
what? Out of Iris or out of...
No, I couldn't get out of
Out of
Susie.
Susie,
Because Iris said, you're not going to like her. Take her out, and I don't want any part of you anymore. And I took Susie out. Had a lovely time. And that was it. That's how it happened. And you're still single.
Still single.
And how old?
30.
Can't find the right one. Where are you
Something
originally
like
from?
that. Something like that. Roslyn.
Your family still out there?
Uh-huh. My mother, my father.
Your dad in the real estate business? Or?
No. Camping business.
I hope your story's
I heard that. Story's great. Did you hear?
All right, I'm now in the front of the house looking at the island. I'm now doing the island in front of the house. I'm now right facing the house. Okay, I'm now looking to the north side